March is without a doubt a major change for the better as far as 2022 is concerned. We start right out of the gate with a new moon ruled by one of the most auspicious planets, Jupiter. This lunation is happening in Leo's 8th house, the place that often deals with getting bills paid, your partner's resources, and at times transitions and transformations. While this is a wide range of possible manifestations, the core of this new moon changes that catalyze expansion. In the case that you've been trying to clear off some debt, this could mean that you finally get rid of that weight so you can move forward. Alternatively, there's also a good chance that your partner could be getting a raise or considerable gifts. If the theme of transformation resonates with you, on the other hand, this is all about shedding old skin that has been limiting your movements. This new moon is not all Jupiter has to offer, however. There are a few conjunctions happening with a great benefit, the first one being the Sun's. This one is all about your sense of self and identity. It shines a light on what parts of you need to die to open space for faith and trust in your capacity to overcome even the tougher situations life has to offer. Not long after this conjunction, we also have Mars and Venus changing signs and entering your 7th house of relationships. This is the place where Saturn has been transiting in Leo's charts for the past few years, causing coldness and challenges in regards to your romantic relationships. Mars entering this house can make things escalate a bit more, though Venus is indeed providing some help, especially if you were born during the night. Be wary of fights and discussions, and don't let them get to your head. This will be a time when your communication skills with your partner will be tested, so remember to breathe and not jump to rash decisions or comments towards your partner. It's also important to remember that even though the 7th house is more often than not related to romantic partners, this is not always true. This conflict could be triggered in any significant relationship you have in your life at the moment. Just take a deep breath and remember that everything is in divine order. Another planet, changing signs, is Mercury, who joins Jupiter and the Sun in your 8th house. Leo's 8th house is not the best place for Mercury to be, though. It can make us make less rational and more emotional decisions when it comes to debt. On the other hand, later in the month, they will also conjoin Jupiter shortly after the full moon. This can also be a welcoming transit that allows for a clear bridge between your emotional and rational mind. This could mean that around the 20th of the month, as much as dealing with numbers will be difficult, you'll gain major insights on the reasoning behind why you have the debt you have, or even the reasons why you might feel indebted to somebody, especially your partner. Like with anything in life, even business and money matters have an emotional side to it, and while Mercury is usually good at adding and subtracting costs to maximize profit, it's only when they're depleted from these qualities that they can see the deeper meaning of our relationship with our material world. This is also a good segue into the aforementioned full moon happening in your 2nd house. The 2nd house opposes the 8th, so as the 8th stands for spending, the 2nd relates to earning. Having the full moon in there could be just the energy you need to take these deeper concepts of consumerism/materialism into something that makes sense. After this point, you might realize that you have a much more solid idea of overcoming the more challenging aspects of your relationship with money and resources. After the full moon, the month ends with the Sun moving to your 9th house of faith, travel and higher education. In the charts of Leo, this is where the Sun is exalted, and for that reason, you might feel that these areas of your life start to run a lot smoother. You may even gain authority in those areas if you are a scholar or a spiritual teacher. This ingress can also set the stage for possible travel in the coming month. The last major transit of the month is the Saturn and Venus conjunction in your 7th house. This transit is quite welcome in regards to the partnership problems mentioned earlier. It occurs on the 28th. And if you've meant to have a serious conversation with your partner, that would be the best day to address these matters. Venus makes Saturn's hold much less constricting, and Leo's 7th house is all about instilling change for the better, so go slow, but don't hold back. You can do this, Leo.